Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons and our brand new season of Madden 26 franchise with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here getting ready to start season number 2. We had a hell of a year last year, ended up making the playoffs, winning a playoff game, and then eventually getting knocked out by the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. And it was a pretty good season, but this year we're looking to take that next step. We had our off season. We drafted some critical pieces, I think, that'll be a big help to our team along the way. And so it should be interesting to see how we evolve and continue to grow as an organization here coming up in season 2. So welcome back to the channel for those of you returning, and welcome if you are new here to Champ & Sons and all of our Madden 26 content. Now, we had the offseason with our draft. We saw that in the last episode. So here comes the preseason. One thing we didn't really focus on too much in the offseason was a running back room, mainly because I think we had it pretty well filled up. Kenneth Gainwell, Caleb Johnson, our two primary backs. And now, last season with Jaylen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, pretty much we had this same kind of cutscene where he wanted to start. Now, I think he did definitely earn that. We traded Warren, so be it. Caleb Johnson's looking for the same thing, coming into season number 2 of his career. And in reality, it's one of these, okay, if you truly earn that starting spot, we'll give it to you. But we got to see that on the field. And in the preseason, kind of an interesting preseason with what we had. Some of our interactions with our players, like we said here, Caleb Johnson, he'll do whatever I need to do, coach. And yeah, we set goals for guys, but not everything worked out that well. And when you have players like Kenneth Gainwell, as you see one of those highlights from our preseason game against the Green Bay Packers, and you kind of start to understand, at least for Gainwell, what he was up against as we busted out that long run. We had a lot of big plays being made. A lot of players stepped up. You see Sherrod Blackburn taking the helm, his first, obviously his first year in the NFL. He is going to be starting as a rookie. We're throwing him into the fire, and hopefully he's able to withstand it. He did show us a lot of good things. I'm being able to make decisions on when to run and sliding, not taking the hits, not forcing fumbles. But Caleb Johnson had a decent preseason for the most part. It just wasn't one of those ones that was outstanding. It wasn't something where we could say, all right, you're the starter. But keep in mind, he's still going to be one of our primary backs. We're looking for a lot more from you that game, Caleb. Still a lot of growth needed, but you have the time to grow. Keep your head up. I know I'm better than how I played out there, coach. I'll keep on it. He plays fine. He's not. I don't want to lose him, but I'm definitely not going to start him over Kenneth Gainwell. And these are those little organization things that you got to tend to with some of these players that want the spot. But man, like I said, it's got to be earned. And Gainwell, you saw what he could just do in that replay, and that was just the first preseason game against the Packers. And we saw what we did against the Packers last year. That kind of game. And so we saw a lot of improvement in a lot of different areas. And here we're looking at Levi Hickman, the rookie defensive tackle that we did draft. And he's got a lot of capability too. He can make some big plays. So we got running backs want more stuff. We got defensive linemen making more. Now here's Sherrod Blackburn in the weight room, setting these good habits that he's talking about. We gave him some advice in training camp, which basically just work and continue to develop. That's what we really want. We know he's got a high ceiling. We want to see him be able to not just hit that ceiling, but bust through it and become what we want to be is one of the greatest quarterbacks in Steeler history, for the likes of Terry Bradshaw. I'd say Neil O'Donnell, because I think he's the one who led them to the Super Bowl in '95. They lost to the Cowboys. Ben Roethlisberger led them to 2 Super Bowls. That's kind of that's what we want to see him be. And I think he's definitely got that. Like we said, he is putting in those good habits. We are seeing a lot of positive stuff from him coming in through the preseason. Now, one thing that we had to do is you always have to cut down your players. We've got to cut 14 players off our thing, or move them to the practice squad. I wish you could really move all these guys. I don't know why we couldn't. Or I guess maybe not 14, at least like 10 of them or something like that. Because The way I kind of look at it is, if we got a guy who's young enough, I'm gonna probably end up putting him on the practice squad, depending on how much space we're gonna get back. How much cap space are we gonna get? Some of these guys, like take Brandon Echols, we just looked at $3 million plus $3 million in cap if we were to cut him, but he's a 73 overall. Yeah, he's 28 years old, but we got time with him. Beanie Bishop, he's 26. He's a 76 overall guy. Is he one of our starters? No. And you did see, I don't know if y'all just noticed, but who was it? Jalen, don't remember his last name now, but one of the free agents that we signed, we just cut him. He was too far down on the depth chart. I mean, things like that do happen. So Brandon Echols, $3 million. He was 28 years old. They're good, but man, they're just not what we need to, I think, really kind of continue and grow this team. And one thing, part of that is we need guys that are younger, that have I need veteran leadership, I guess, but at the same time, having the young and dumb ain't always that bad of a thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you'll see me kind of keep some guys on here, like Max Sharping. I want to keep him just because that is that leadership. And two, I don't get that much for cutting him in all reality. So it's one of those things. How much am I really going to get in return? Now, DJ Jones, $4 million. I'm not going to cut DJ because I think our defensive tackle spot, I need a lot of depth there. The way these guys play, the way our defenses run, we rotate guys in and out a lot. And I know DJ's 31 years old. We only got him for like 3 years. It's his last contract. Levi Hickman, they want me to cut Hickman. They added him to the list. No, sir, no go. That man is a hidden dev trait rookie. I sure as hell ain't cutting him. And you saw he's already making plays. You can see, look at his overall rating, but he's already making plays, guys. I do promise y'all that. So just keep that in mind. Now, Kyler McMichael, gone. Dunskies. And here, just down to one player, Max Sharping, Spencer Anderson. I'm not cutting Levi Hickman. And Max Sharping is a right guard, and he's 30. Spencer Anderson is a left guard, but he's 26. 1.14 to 1.2. I'm going to pick age. In that sense, I'm going to cut the older guy. I really didn't want to have to cut Sharping, but it's one of those sad details that comes with the business. That was a business decision. I can get more out of my 26-year-old than what I can out of the 30-year-old. He's going to end up regressing a lot quicker. So be it. That's the way it goes. Now, I did but I guess upgrade one of my scouting things to allow me to hire two-star scouts. And you can kind of see me looking through that right now. But one problem is, as I do this voiceover, I didn't equip that ability. So it's kind of whoopsie. So as much as I try to do it, it's not going to let me. I'm about to make myself look foolish. You want to hire the scout? Yes. Well, you can't because you're an idiot. And I didn't equip that ability I bought. Now, to be fair, I could have gone back to do that. You would have seen me do it on the recording. But I didn't think about it till just now. So, so be it. Live and learn. We'll deal with that this season. We'll get better for next season. But I think our scouts, we got pretty well. We got them going pretty well. Pretty spread across the board as far as positions, offense, defense, where I think we have potential weaknesses, where we want to really continue to build in the youth factor of it. So I think we've got a pretty good hold and pretty good setup. Now, what I don't like when looking at, kind of, I guess, the strengths of each region, and I don't know how the strengths of the Nationals defensive tackle, wide receiver, and halfback, but those aren't listed on everywhere. That doesn't make any sense. So, you kind of got to take stuff with a grain of salt, and we'll switch up our scouts around to make sure we got the right scout in the right area to try to hit enough of the green binoculars as possible. So that is kind of how we have to do it. And I really like how we've got our guys set up for this season right now. Southeast is pretty much settled. I mean, we should be able to get our offensive linemen from the Southeast, the way they have with offensive tackles, which will actually be good. It's not like we don't need to build for depth for one, but man, if we can get some solid tackles to go along with Cosme on the right side, that's going to be my biggest thing. Because I think I have Baker, whatever. I think it's Baker on the left side there. So on the right side, if I can get someone to play next to Cosme and really solidify that right side of that line, whoo-wee, talking about major things happening for us in that realm. So a lot of different possibilities. And keep in mind, this is still really early on in the process. So these things are potential to change as much as, you may say, well, why would you want to change your scout in the middle of the season? It's possible. If I got as much information as I'm going to get out of some people, just because I fire the scout doesn't mean I lose that information on the prospects. I still have that information. I just fire the scout, hire a new one. Let's get some more prospects scouted. You know what I mean? That's just how you got to roll sometimes. That's all I'm saying. It's just how you got to roll at times. So, keeping that in mind, I really, and this is kind of what's hard, is position expertise 1 and 2. And that's it. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me in scout realm. I would say offense, defense. I mean, yeah, you could go wide receivers, but if you could scout wide receivers, you got a pretty good eye for running backs that can catch, all that fun jazz. So I don't like really how that's set up in Madden, but it's just one of those things that, as annoying as it may be, we got to do it. That's all I'm saying. Position mismatch in this region for the national. You may want to reassign. Yeah, I do realize that. Position match. Liam Preston, area scout. Jeremy Lewis. Oh God, free safety. He's a safety guy, cornerback. How can you not have good corners nationwide? Like, come on, guys. So that's something I guess I get with how they do the regional scouting stuff as you get later on in the season and you really start to set regional breakdown kind of situation. But I think they could do so much better in this realm. So that's one thing I will say, like where FIFA comes in with their scouting, I do like that. And I think EA should be able to take that kind of format into the Madden realm. So you have all the prospects there. Send out scouts to either look at quarterback, to look at specific positions. Send out scouts to look at specific players. And kind of go from there. Because I think that's how it's really going to more or less break down. No one's going to say, all right, Jimbo, you go to the Southeast and I want you to look at offensive tackle, left tackles, and right tackles only. Because that's where they're the best. Don't look at anything else. I don't care if you see a receiver that can run a 4-1. Don't look at them. You're there to look at offensive tackles. No, that's not how it works. And I don't think that's how it should work. But, this is Madden. You take the bad with the good, good with the bad, the yin with the yang. That's just how it rolls. So, we're making the best of what we can with it and really trying to find the right scout for our positions that I think we really want to develop. So Ted Wilkerson, 3-star. That's right. Safety and receiver. Now we're talking. So now I just got to reassign 3 scouts. It goes a little back and forth. And that's why I say, like this, when you have guys that are good at 2 things, like this one, linebacker and defensive tackle. Okay, well, weakness is linebacker, but strength is defensive tackle. So do I pull that guy off just because he doesn't have both of them? Or do I go and fire that scout, then find someone else and rehire someone else? I just don't, even though safety is a weakness, but wide receiver. It's not really position mismatch. That's what I don't really like. Just because you don't have 2 the green binoculars doesn't make it a mismatch. It just means that, hey, we got wide receivers here. We can check those out. Maybe don't focus on safeties. For the nationwide scouting, look at wide receivers. That kind of thing. Preston Lee, 2-star defensive tackle. Expertise 1 and expertise 2 is offensive tackle. So let's see where we're going to put him at. All right. defensive tackle, wide receiver. Preston Lee's there. Preston Lee, Liam Preston. Really, guys? This is how we're going to roll? Okay, I see how it is. Same names. Madden, do a little bit better on that, would you? Carson Monk and Pedro Sanchez are unassigned right now. We're switching Preston Lee to the west. Let's see. Yep, there we go. We had the green binocular on that one. So now we need central and northeast. And that's going to be between Carson Monk and Pedro Sanchez. Or Liam. Nah, Liam Preston as offensive tackle, and that's southeast. So, all right, I fired Monk. Oh, man, I swear, hiring and firing scouts like crazy. These guys go from being employed, living their best life, doing what they love to do, scouting players, to, yep, you're fired. Now your wife left you. Find out your children aren't even yours, and everything just spirals downhill into a massive drug problem and all that. But such is the life of the NFL, I guess. Ralph Scott, we did hire him. We put him in the central. Now for the northeast, wide receiver and edge rushers. See, that's such an odd combination. Like, it really is such an odd combination. Now I got to fire Pedro Sanchez. Damn it, man. I need to try to find somebody that's got like wide receiver and edge. You have edge, offensive tackle, wide receiver, QB. You know, I mean, that is such an odd combination. And now I got to look to try to find guys that have at least two of those. It's not going to work. Safety tight end, Lynn Glover, edge, defensive tackle, running back, wide receiver. Like I said, this is where things get kind of annoying here with Madden and the whole scouting network. Like in reality, I'm fine with these guys having the expertise. Okay, send them in that area to scout just one thing. I don't need them to scout everything else. Let me just look for one kind of player. You know, that kind of situation. Wide receiver and edge. Weakness, linebacker, and essentially offensive line. Interior and exterior and tackles. So, gotta hire a scout now. Oh my God, this is what, like I said, when it comes to the off-season kind of stuff, this is what really gets me. You know, part of me is like, all right, well, maybe just go with wide receiver. Maybe just find edge rushers. I don't think I really need edge rushers, to be honest with you. I mean, Highsmith is getting on up there in age, I will admit, but Jack Sawyer's a young buck. So maybe we're going to look for Highsmith's replacement. If anything, if we can find one, draft one pretty quick, get a good deal, get a good spot for him in the draft, maybe trade Highsmith away, see what we can get. You know, that's going to be our best bet at this time. With some of these guys, like I said, the way this is done, I think, from my experience, FIFA is way better when it comes to scouting and looking at players. And I just think Madden, for some reason, I don't know why they don't want to do that, why they don't want to take a look at it in that sense. So, just throwing it out there. All right, we got pretty much green binoculars going all around here. And that's kind of what we were looking for the most part, except for Ted Wilkerson. So I think we'll catch up on scouting here in a few games. It's not something I'm going to do every game, right? All right, let's take a look at our roster. Sherrod Blackburn, obviously, rookie quarterback. Halfback room, Kenneth Gainwell, Caleb Johnson, and Aaron Shampklin. I don't worry about him too much. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. Hopefully we don't have an injury to where he has to come in. But Gainwell, Johnson, two very solid backs that y'all saw plenty of in the last season. They're going to spearhead that backfield for us. Tight end room, I don't know why they have Caleb Johnson as this backup tight end. That makes no sense. You know, Madden does get a little wonky and some stuff like that, but it is what it is. Wide receiver room, I like our starting three, Metcalf, Austin, and Rondell Moore. I think that's a pretty good mix of guys for our starting wide receiver room. And I think that's something, I mean, look at the speed. Metcalf, 94. Austin, 95. Moore, 93. Big-time playmakers right there. Freiermuth, Washington, and Bellinger are the starting tight ends. We do have Trey Foster, the rookie that we did draft, but he is injured right now. He's actually turned out to be pretty good. He got hurt in the first preseason game, but he's got a lot of speed, pretty good hands, and I think it was labeled as a vertical threat. So a lot of good stuff happening on the offense. Zach Frazier spearheading it, his second year there as our center. There's Sam Cosme, the guy we traded for. Got a couple of first-rounders and all that stuff. Fontenot from the right guard, the right tackle spot. Now, here's on the defense. Jack Sawyer and Anthony Highsmith coming off the edge. That's kind of what we want to look at. Levi Hickman, I did put him at 1. He's overall 66, but I moved him up because I need him to get playing time. We need to see what that dev trade is. And if it's something that, man, maybe his development shoots just go skyrocketing. He's a kid with all the potential in the world to be that game breaker. So we need to get him the playing time. Linebacker room hasn't changed all that much from last season. We've kept it pretty solid throughout. So, yeah, Peyton Wilson, Harrison, Kazir White, pretty much the same. Now, in the defensive backfield, Lamont Baker is going to be the number 3. It's going to be the number 3 defensive back. Deontay Banks, who we did sign his 5th-year option in the offseason, he is going to be the number 4. And then Reese is coming in at the number 5 defensive back for the starting 5. So, pretty good defensive backfield. I like it better than what we had last year. Ardarius Washington leading the free safety just over Juan Thornhill. Now, Chuck Clark is the starting strong safety. That's because Deshaun Elliott is injured right now. So Chuck Clark will get the start. But the way we run our defense, you're going to see Thornhill, you're going to see Washington, you're going to see Chuck, you're going to see Deshaun Elliott when he gets back. Everybody's going to be getting their time in the game. So don't fret about that. It's just how it's got to be for right now. So let's go ahead and jump into season number 2 opener on the road here, taking on the Carolina Panthers. That first run up the middle gets us 6 yards. Blackburn staying in the shotgun. 3 receivers left. Looks over the defense. Has the snap once again. Hands off to Gainwell. Big hole open over the middle. He's got space at the 25-20. Hit and dragged down by the 16-yard line. And, they're going to mark him at the 17. You bums. He was down to the 16. But he gets dragged down from behind. A great run by Gainwell right up the gut. Good blocking there by the offense. And that opened things up for Gainwell. Made his job a little bit easier. So that's 1st and 10 and our first red zone trip of the season coming on our opening drive. Just under 13 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Steelers offense comes to the line at the 17. 1st and 10 from the shotgun. Metcalf wide left all by his lonesome. Caleb Johnson is in the backfield. Blackburn claps his hands, has the snack. Blitz comes and he gets rid of it at the last second. Who did not see that coming until the last second? That was risky. That was real danged old risky. And that's going to make it 2nd and 10. Coming out, staying in the shotgun 4 wide. Blackburn has the snap. Blitz comes again, fires it up over the middle. And Metcalf goes up for it and comes down at the 1-yard line. It was a jump ball. Blackburn threw the 50-50 shot up, and Metcalf comes down with it. Of course, I trust Metcalf to come down with it just about every time as well. That is now going to be 1st and goal Steelers here. Under 12 minutes to go in the first quarter, coming out under center I formation. Johnson in the backfield. 2 tight ends right. Has the snap, tosses it to Johnson. He's going to walk it in. Touchdown Steelers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Season getting started in the right way. Sherrod Blackburn, the rookie, leads our offense down the field for the first touchdown of the season on the first possession of the season as Caleb Johnson takes the toss around the edge. Not one defender anywhere around him, and that gives us an early 7-0 lead. So big time play for this offense. Our defense comes up with a 3 and out. Here we find ourselves in a 3rd and 4 as Blackburn takes off to the left side at the 40, and he's going to slide down at the 33. We saw that a little bit in the preseason, Blackburn being smart enough to know when to run. Instead of waiting for the pocket to collapse and the play to completely collapse, make the most out of it. when you recognize that man coverage and the field opens up, take the shot and go for it. And Blackburn does, and he's smart enough to slide. That's another big thing, is he was smart enough to slide down on it. So 1st and 10 now from the 33 on the plus side. 3 receivers left. Blackburn in the shotgun. Has the snap in hand. Fires out and over the middle. Hits Freiermuth going down the left sideline there. Breaks one tackle. And Freiermuth gets knocked out as we are back at the 17-yard line. Here for the second straight offensive possession in a row. Coming out 1st and 10 from the 17. Just under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Right here. 2 receivers set. Blackburn has the snap. Hands off Gainwell. Hole opens up. He cuts forward and he fights and kept his feet moving and picks up 6 yards. That's 45 yards on the ground on 5 carries. Already early in this one, averaging 9 yards per carry. So 2nd and 4 from the 11. Blackburn has a snap, play action to Gainwell, drops that one off. He's going to hit Rondale Moore, takes it in, touchdown Steelers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. The first touchdown pass of Sherrod Blackburn's career goes to new free agent acquisition, Rondale Moore, as he's able to take that one into the end zone easily without, once again, a defender nowhere near him. Great play call here by this offense. Good job on the line blocking from the blitz, and just great execution overall. Now we lead by 2 scores. That's how we want our offense to go. We want it to be fast and efficient. So here we come out later in the first quarter with facing a 3rd and 4 once again from the shotgun. Freiermuth goes in motion. Has the snap in hand in the pocket. Fires over the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. He is looking for Freiermuth, and they cut right under it, and Sherrod Blackburn, his first mistake. Oh, he's led the field, led the team down for 2 touchdowns. 1 on the ground to Johnson, then his first touchdown of his career. And I guess at least he got another first out of the way, his first interception of his career on that play. And you can see the guy, Womack, just undercut Freiermuth on that. I think Freiermuth really did have the position, and then just a great play by the defender. That's going to happen every now and then. So here comes the Panther offense as we put the pressure on, and you can see Hickman and Jack Sawyer coming in on that one. And that falls incomplete to make it 2nd and 10 from the 41 into Steelers territory. Bryce Young in the shotgun. As Chuba Hubbard to his left side. Drops off a screen pass to the left. He's got blockers out in front. Sticks Brown, breaks one tackle, and is finally knocked out. Peyton Wilson tried to come and deliver the lumber, and he just sent him packing off to the sideline. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Young has the snap. Pressure comes. Hickman brings him down. First sack of his career. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Rookies are showing out today. Here in the opening game of the season, Hickman did a fantastic job getting around the lineman. He does have great finesse moves. They're not super powerful, but, man, he is quick. And that's what helped get that sack. So now it's 2nd and 16. Staying in the shotgun. Young has it. Rush only 4. Drops the pass off to the right side. Hits his receiver, and who's going to get finally hit and stood up by Thornhill. I don't know why we had Jack Sawyer mashed up on a receiver. That was going to go nowhere. And now 3rd and 1. Coming out in a hefty I formation. Young under center. He does a quarterback sneak. I wish, I probably should pay more attention, where it says how many running backs and receivers and all that. But in reality, I think goal line should just be labeled as goal line instead of 3 receivers and 3 tight ends. Well, that's stupid. So now, after that first down, they hand that to Hubbard, and he goes breaking tackles. Chuck Clark finally has to come up and make the stop, taking his legs out from under him. Hubbard looked like he ran through a couple different guys on our defense who didn't make any effort really to bring him down. Or maybe Hubbard's just that powerful. So that will actually take us here to the end of the first quarter. We do lead 14-0, but Carolina is knocking on the door. They are threatening to put some points up in their own home field. And we can't be having that business. We need to try to shut them down and to shut them out. As that first quarter, like I said, comes to a close, great job by our offense, and our defense has played incredibly well, too. We've all been making a lot of big plays on both sides of the ball. You like seeing your guys be that successful. We just want to continue that for 4 quarters in a game. Instead of at times last season even, it seemed like we did it for 2 quarters, but not for 3 or 4. So, with the second quarter beginning right now, as Bryce Young is under center, eye right, hands off to his fullback up the middle. A shifty little fullback. You in great. Okay. All right, I see how you're doing. A little shiftiness. I'm not a fan of that shiftiness. I don't like it. I don't approve of it. So now 1st and goal from the 8 after the fullback dances his way. This time on a delayed handoff to Hubbard. Hickman comes up again. Levi Hickman with another fantastic play to get into the backfield. Just shot the gap so the guy blocking him had no chance to get there and actually put a hand on him. Hickman shoots the gap, and that's going to bring him down for a loss of 2 yards. So 2nd and goal from the 10 under center. 3 tight end set. Has the snap in the pocket. Just stays right there. He finally takes off a little late and he went running right at Highsmith. That's not a smart move. Do not go running at that man. That man will put a hurting on you. And luckily Bryce Young did slide down. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 7. In the shotgun formation, sends a man in motion. Young has the snap. Blitz comes. He's chasing. He's sacked and he fumbles it. It's going to be picked up by a lineman, and he's finally brought down as well. Oh, the strip sack by this defense. What a play to push him back all the way to the 19. We had 1st and goal from the 8 and pushed him back and forced a field goal. So here we come back after their field goal, needing to add some points and respond. Kenneth Gainwell, for some reason, decides to cut to stay next to the defenders. You don't want to be too far away from them, especially while you're running. You want them to be close by. So after that little short run, it's 3rd and 2 now. Blackburn in the shotgun. 3 wide set. Looking over the defense. Has the snap in hand. Hands off to Gainwell. Hole opens up over the middle. And he takes it for good yardage down to the 34-yard line. He's got 89 yards on 9 rushes already today. Gainwell having himself a hell of a game, to say the least. So 1st and 10 from the 34. 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Blackburn under center. 2 tight end, 2 receiver set. Johnson in the backfield. Has the snap. Play action, rolling left. Blackburn, he's going to take off down the left sideline and steps out of bounds before taking the hit. See, I knew he was a smart kid. He'd been able to slide. He doesn't take the hits. That's a thinking man. That's a guy who does not have CTE yet. So 2nd and 3. Now from the 27 after that scramble. Blackburn under center once again. Sends a man in motion. Has the snap. Hands off to Moore. He's got space in front of him at the 20. At the 10. Cuts it back forward, and he's brought down at the 6-yard line. Could not get around the safety. But Rondale Moore with a great run on that little jet sweep motion. And that's going to get us in prime scoring position here at the 6-yard line, leading 14-3 as we look to put some more points up early in the second quarter. So here we come out with the 1st and goal. Blackburn in the shotgun. Caleb Johnson still in the backfield. 2 receivers left side. Calvin Austin on the right. Not Calvin. Yeah, Calvin Austin on the right side. But we hit Metcalf on the left. Touchdown Steelers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. On the little RPO action. They snapped that one suddenly. And good blocking there by Moore. That's what really made that play possible for the most part, because I've seen that thing get intercepted and go for pick sixes. The blocking by Moore and then the delivery by Blackburn. I mean, in reality, you got that anywhere near Metcalf, he's going to take it and walk it in. But still a great play, and that's going to add on to our total as Blackburn gets his 2nd touchdown of the game. So now here come the Panthers trying to respond. Hand that one off to Hubbard, and he's going to fumble. Picked up by Thornhill. Coming back at the 20. Breaking tackle, spinning off guys all the way down to the 12-yard line. Chuba Hubbard took that one off the right guard there and had plenty of space. And then he just gets walloped. I mean, the lumber delivery company brought his order extra fast as Jalen Ramsey puts it to him. He fumbles. Juan Thornhill picks that one up and takes it all the way back deep into Carolina territory. and well within the red zone at the 13-yard line. So leading 21-3. This is separational type offense. This is what separates us from other teams. This is where we can really start to define ourselves in some of these games, is putting teams out early. So leading 21-3, Blackburn has the snap, drops off the screen pass to Caleb Johnson, got space at the 5, diving into the end zone, touchdown Steelers. Oh my goodness. Oh baby, oh baby. One play is all that we needed as Caleb Johnson takes the screen pass and flies into the end zone. And now that's going to give us a 28-3 lead here early in the third quarter. Sherrod Blackburn with his third touchdown of the day, as that's also going to be Caleb Johnson's second. One on the ground, one through the air. Both of these guys having a fantastic showing here in this one. Now later in the second quarter, as Bryce Young completely misses Hubbard out there. I mean, to be fair, he was wide open. Pocket started to collapse in on him, but I don't think it was that close. So that's 2nd and 10 now, as we lead 28-3. 2nd and 10, Young staying in a shotgun, 3 receivers set. Looks over the defense. Has the snap in hand. Pressure comes. He starts to scramble, and he's brought down for the sack. Tavondre Sweat comes up with the big play, as that one pushes it back to the 49-yard line, as the Panthers are now back into their own territory. Bryce Young just not reading the field. I don't know if it's that he can't see or what, but he's not reading the field. He's not reading the pressure. He doesn't even seem to know where, he's not able to feel where the pressure is going to come from. You can't hold the ball forever, right? You got to get rid of it at some point. He's not doing that, and he can't feel it. So, 3rd and 17. Snap happens, and the blitz comes. Lamont Baker, the rookie, shows up another time as he gets the sack on that one. Now we are going to head it to halftime early. We would put up an additional touchdown, as you can tell. It'd be 35-3 coming into half. I mean, we are just possibly the greatest team to ever step onto a football field based off this first half. So, I mean, take it for what it is. I'll take it for, what I want it to be. Let's check out some other things happening around the league as as a Super Bowl rematch happens. As the Baltimore Ravens take out Jalen Hurts and the Eagles for the second time in a row. As the Ravens do get that big win, 34-17. Now moving to Big D in the Death Star. Dak Prescott fires that one over the middle, looking for CeeDee Lamb, as they will connect for the touchdown. And Cowboys lead at halftime, 17-7. Jackson Dart is only 3 of 9 for 21 yards. Prescott's already got 2 touchdowns. Now the Lions have gone down to Cajun country to take on the New Orleans Saints, as Jahmyr Gibbs gets that toss to the left side, lowers his shoulder, reaches the ball out, and that is going to help the Lions have a 14-0 lead at half in New Orleans. Now some other scores: the Commanders lead Seattle 14-0. Cincinnati leaves Tampa Bay 10-3. All here early in the first half. But our game, 35-3. We have done some impressive stuff on offense, and we've had a really good game so far overall. Blackburn, 13 of 18, 162, 3 yards. Gainwell's 14 rushes, 162 yards. It's one of those, we've been unstoppable, So let's take a look at the second half. Let's see what this is going to look like. So here in the third quarter, the Panthers did go for an opening drive touchdown. Now this one, Blackburn finds Rondale Moore coming across the field, and he goes into the flurry of Panther defenders and is brought down at the 37-yard line. Rondale Moore not afraid of contact, as he takes that one deep into, or not really deep, but into Carolina territory right there. Blackburn, that kid is tough, standing in the pocket to deliver the pass like he did. That is a big-time play. That is a veteran type of quarterback maneuver. So 1st and 10, we lead 35-10 as we are at the 37-yard line. Blackburn from the shotgun has the snap. Hands off Johnson, left side. Hole opens up over the middle, and he's got good yardage all the way down to the 25-yard line right there. And another big play on the ground by this offense. You saw Gainwell had the 140-something yards. Johnson trying to chase and get up to that. And that's something that's also really going to help out Blackburn, is if we have a solid run game. That's going to be a major help to for his development. Now 1st and 10 from the 25. Blackburn has a snap, hands off on the delay to Johnson, and nowhere to go. None of the linemen could get any push. They all seemed to come back. And it was no blocking out in front, so Johnson goes down for a 1-yard loss. 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter, facing a 2nd and 11 from the 26-yard line. Blackburn in the shotgun, 3 receivers left. Austin and Moore on the slot side. Fryermuth to the right. Blackburn has the snap, rolls out to the right, comes back, fires over. He's going to hit Metcalf coming across the field, makes a cut, and spins around one defender and is brought down at the 8-yard line. Metcalf makes his 5th catch of the day. He's got 62 yards so far this afternoon. A great start for this offense and a really good throw for Blackburn. You know, that's one of the difference between him and Luke, is Blackburn could throw on the run, and you see it right there on that play. So 1st and goal Steelers from the 8-yard line, 4 wide set from the shotgun. Blackburn has the snap. He's going to take off up the middle, has space, lowers his shoulder, and Blackburn gets brought down at the 1. Oh, he wanted to get into the end zone. Poor bastard got brought down a yard early. That is no bueno. That's going to make it 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. You know, in a moment like this, he got us there. I think he's already got 3 through the air. Let's give him 1 on the ground. Blackburn lines up in a heavy set formation under center. Has a snap. It's to push it to the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Just not the tush push, obviously. Just a regular old Madden quarterback sneak. Takes it into the end zone. And that is going to make this thing a 42-10 lead here in the third quarter. Sherrod Blackburn puts one in on the ground, his 4th total touchdown of the day. And our offense is damn near unstoppable. Really is. And I mean, like I said, we'd put up 2 more. It was just too painful to continue to watch and for me to continue to edit for Panthers fans and the Panthers in Madden. So I kind of fast forwarded it to the end of the game with it already in hand. Now, while we do celebrate this first victory, guys, I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button if you have not hit it already, and definitely give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and you're excited about where our season's going, what your NFL team is doing, and all that fun jazz. Hit the bell icon to be notified of all of our uploads here that we do have for Madden, college football, anything else happening at the channel as well. So the rookies showed up today on all sides. Baker, Levi, Hickman, Sherrod Blackburn. Everybody's showing up and showing out. That's what you wanted from these rookies that we drafted. A lot of good things happening here. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. Starting in the next episode, it will be a divisional back-to-back games, but that is going to be in the next one. And guys, I will see y'all in that episode. So as always, stay safe. And well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.